In a prior video, I was talking about VA loans and what is required on a VA loan, why sellers should actually look at VA loan buyers and not just automatically think, oh, that's going to be extra work. And I had mentioned that VA does have minimum property requirements for the homes that will qualify for VA financing. So I wanted to touch base on a few of those requirements today. The first is that it has to have sanitary facilities and hot water. So when we talk about having sanitary facilities, that means you need to have a toilet, a sink, and either a shower or a bathtub if it's not a combo. We're in 2023. It's not very common that you're going to come across a home that is still utilizing an outhouse, but I guess there might be some still out there. So VA does require that you have a fully functioning bathroom in the home, and you must have hot water and water that is safe to drink. Even if you're on a well, that home would qualify as long as it can pass a water quality test. Sometimes you may have to add a water filter system or something to those, but wells do qualify for VA loans. You also have to have some sort of heating system that will heat the home to a minimum of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now think about that. 50 degrees Fahrenheit is not that warm. I would not want to live in a house that I could only get to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't either. But they do set a minimum of the 50 degrees. If it's in a cold climate, like if you live up north, then you must have a permanent heating system. Here in the South, it does get cold here, but nowhere near like it would, say, in Michigan or Illinois or somewhere like that. When we talk about whether or not it's going to qualify for VA financing based on the heating source, you can't have one fireplace and expect it to heat the entire home. You would have to have either baseboard heat or mini splits in each of the rooms, but they do require that the house be able to heat up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The roof doesn't have to be new, but it should be in good condition. If a roofer were to say that there was 5 years or less expectancy on the roof life, then VA could ask for it to be repaired or replaced. Foundation needs to be solid. Nobody wants to buy a home where the foundation is cracking or unstable. You need to have electrical and plumbing systems that are in safe and good working order. Again, that's going to be a requirement that anybody wants for their house, especially if they're a first-time home buyer utilizing government financing. You have to have, if you have a crawl space, it has to have adequate ventilation and be free from dampness, and it needs to not have any obstructions under there that would affect the airflow underneath it. If your home was built before 1978, they are going to look at lead-based paint indicators. So when you have chipping or cracking paint or even peeling paint, they're going to ask that that be inspected to see if it does contain lead-based paint, and then they're going to tell you that you're going to have to peel all that and repaint it. So if you can test it and know that it does not contain lead-based paint, you should be fine. You're going to have to get a pest inspection done. Most buyers are going to do a pest inspection anyway. And then you do have to have some kind of deeded access to the property. So they're not necessarily saying you have to have road frontage, but if you have a house that sits back off the road and you don't really have that little bit of road frontage, you have to have a deeded easement. You have to be guaranteed access to get to and from the property. So basically, they're just asking that you have a home that a buyer is not going to have immediate issues with when they move in. They want you to have a bathroom that works. They want you to have some kind of heat source that will get up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. No electrical or plumbing issues. Crawl space is ventilated. No obstructions down there to obstruct the airflow, and then a foundation that's not about to fall in. So really, when you think about it, especially from a seller's perspective, you would want those things in a home you were buying as well. So when we look at the minimum property requirements that VA sets forth, they're not as onerous as some people would like to believe. So the next time you get an offer and the buyer's doing VA financing, keep this in mind and give it a true shot at being accepted.